Jim, the new year starts as the old one ended with 3 goals and 3 points. What was your take on that one?
Very professional performance, I felt, this afternoon. We had a look at the pitch prior to the game, and we knew it was going to cut up, and it might not be conducive to the type of possession-based football that we normally want to try and play. So we exploited a weakness that we felt was there in the Arbroath back line. They're playing quite a high line since Jim has came in, and we just tried to utilise the pace and the good movement that we've got up the top end. And 2 of the 3 goals come from that. Fantastic pass from Kai Fotheringham, great little diagonal run from Tony Watt, and very unselfishly puts it on a plate for Moult. And then the second one, Kevin Holt was brilliant on the far corner, a fantastic challenge. And then again, trying to exploit that high line of Arbroath, great run from Glenn Middleton, and a brilliant finish. And then it was nice just to round it off with the third with Moult. Kai Fotheringham again in that 1v1, really dangerous, good ball into a good area, and Moult there to head it home from a couple of yards. So really pleased for Louis in particular, because a lot has been said about the previous 7 games, I think it is, that he hadn't scored in. But Louis knows that he's far more important to us than just the goals. I know people out there will always judge strikers on their goal return, and but for me, Louis, his all-round game is what's important to us. He's a real handful for opposition centre halves. His movement, the way that he brings teammates into the game. There was never any panic from us. We had a good chat with him during the week that I didn't want him to be anxious about the fact that he's not scored for a little while. We were always confident that the opportunities would come back, and he had been getting in some good areas in previous games, just unfortunate 1 or 2 little incidents. But today, delighted for him, and hopefully that'll give him a bit of confidence now that he needs, and that'll kick-start him again.
Glenn probably falls under the same category, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. Glenn has been outstanding consistently, week after week, and when we talk about the defenders and the goalkeeper doing their jobs, and keeping the opposition at bay and keeping clean sheets, the forward players are always judged on end product, and from a wide player that's assisting goals and sometimes popping up with important goals. But Kai Fotheringham and Glenn, their goal contribution from those wide areas, Kai's got 10 for the season. Glenn, I think, has got 9 or 10 assists and a few goals as well to go with that. So every department at the moment, up until now, at this stage of the season, has been doing exactly what is required, and we need that to maintain from now to the end.
On a more negative note, picked up a couple of injuries. Gal was obviously a wee bit of a doubt going into the game, but Scott McMahon goes down on the far side. Is there any update on them? Yeah,
Gal came off with the groin issue at Partick, settled down really well with some anti-inflams and some treatment, and declared himself fit for the game today. I thought he was doing really well, both himself and Kevin Holt, but he just got a bang and kind of jarred that groin hip area again, so we decided not to take any risk with it. Ross Graham went on and done great, really good, for the period of time that he was on there. Scott McMahon's a little bit more serious. We're not going to make too many, we're not going to jump to conclusions right now, but it didn't look great at the time. Scott wouldn't stay down. He certainly wouldn't go off the park if he was able to carry on, so we're going to have to see how that one reacts over the next 48 hours. And the other one was...
It was just Gal and Scotty, I think.
Scotty, yeah. So, look, there's a couple of decisions there within the game. Scotty doesn't get a foul for that one. He's got 3 stud marks right down the inside of his ankle, and Ross Graham gets an elbow in the nose and near enough breaks his nose, and we don't get a free kick for that one either. So those incidents are a little bit frustrating, but at the same time, just delighted with how the players performed today, and on a difficult pitch, very professional, I felt.
It is a shame for Scotty, because he's been such a consistent performer this season, and maybe gives you a wee bit of a headache as a manager. There's not as much cover at left back as maybe you'd like.
No, we've got good players that can play that position if we need. We've got obviously young Flynn Duffy on the bench. We've got Kevin Holt, who played most of the season last year for Partick Thistle at left back, and obviously Glenn Middleton has played a more wing back role in the past, but Glenn is more than capable of filling in that role. But we don't want to, as I say, jump ahead of ourselves. Scotty, with a bit of treatment over the next couple of days, might make the kind of recovery that we need him to make for him to be fit at the weekend.
Just on the Wraith game aside, it's been pretty decent return throughout the festive period, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, obviously we came in for a lot of criticism after the Wraith game, and obviously the Queen's Park game, not scoring in both of those games was very disappointing from our point of view. But you know, there was never any panic within our group. You know, all the noise that was going on outside certainly didn't affect us. We believe in what we're trying to do. We believe in the group that we've put together. We're all on the same page. You know, the players understand what's been asked of them, and that's the most important thing as a manager. I think that the players understand their roles and responsibilities within the system that we want to play, and I think that showed again today. You know, it wasn't a pretty game, very scrappy, but defensively solid. You know, Jack Walton in the second half there having to be brave, putting his body on the line to protect that clean sheet. And you know, I don't think there's anybody in Europe, I don't think, with a better defensive record than us at the moment, this time of the season. So, as I keep saying, we take great pride in that. And anybody that does score a goal against us, like, you know, the wonder goal that Easton scores against us at Tannadice, you know, that's what it's going to take at times, because the boys are so brave, so well organised, the concentration levels are brilliant, and we always believe we'll score goals. So it's about trying to get that balance right. Defensively solid, but obviously carrying a good attacking threat, which we have done for most of the season.
Despite the frustration which you kind of touched on there, the fans have stuck by us and turned out in really good numbers again after the turn of the year. Yeah,
brilliant. I mean, you know, the first game of the season was here, obviously, when we won 4-0 and, you know, brought a similar travelling support with us. And again today, you know, we actually spoke about it in the dugout just before kick-off. You know, the number of Dundee United fans that travelled through here today and made a great atmosphere all afternoon, and I'm delighted that we could send them home happy.